Just a quick thought for those who recently got saved, and by recently I mean in the last year or two. Firstly, I just want to say praise be to God. I'm so glad that you've put your full trust in him, because that's what it is to be saved. I'm so glad that he's given you grace in that way, and I rejoice. But I would also like to give you some clarity and some truth. If you got saved recently, your theology probably is not perfect. In fact, it's definitely not perfect, but it's probably also got some really big holes in it. And I'm not saying that to scare you, because God's grace saves. Perfect theology doesn't save. God's grace saves through faith. You don't have to have everything right about God, but you should also know that your instincts about what is true, what you've heard from before you were saved and since recently being saved, isn't guaranteed to all be true. Check every single thing with scripture. I'll give you some examples. I mean, I thought that once I died, I would never have a body again. Well, scripture teaches all throughout scripture really, but most intensely in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, that we will be embodied. Again, at the final resurrection, we will have a glorified body. That's an amazing thing that we ought to remember and know. I mean, I'll give you a kind of more crude one. When I first got saved, I started littering because I thought when Christ came back, he was going to annihilate the whole world anyway. Well, no, he's actually making the world new. And we are to have dominion over it and rule over it sensibly, with care and with love. Like, just know that there is no depth to how silly you can still be as somebody who the Lord has graciously saved, because he didn't save you because you were smart, because you had perfect theology. He saved you by his grace, out of an act of pure love. So that's a humbling thing. It's not a hateful thing. It's not me trying to separate myself from you, say I'm a better Christian. Nope. I mean, I've been saved 6 years, so I'm not brand new, but I'm still new in the grand scheme of things, and I must understand that it is by his grace alone that I am saved, not because I have figured it out and I have way more to learn. And there are some things I hold close to my heart that may be wrong. Now, not the things that kind of pertain to the nature of the gospel, like the divinity of Christ or his resurrection, for that confession is what has saved me, and his grace has brought that knowledge to me. You know, Romans 10 verse 9 says those things are, you know, really at the center of the faith. But the more outer things, like end times or the mechanism of how salvation works metaphysically, yeah, I mean, like, there are going to be some things that I just don't understand, and that's okay, because I'm saved by God's grace alone.